know what I've learned about life? Pain is temporary. Yeah, it hurts right now. Yeah, it feels like it's breaking you down. But hear me, pain is not permanent. Some of you, you're going through a season right now, and you think that season is your forever. You're looking at the pain like it's the end. But I came to tell you tonight, it's just a season. Storms don't last always. That pain you feel, it's just the price you got to pay for greatness. But let me keep it real with you. If you quit, if you throw in the towel, that's forever. You don't come back from quitting. You don't bounce back from walking away when it gets tough. Quitting leaves scars that don't heal. It leaves regrets you got to look at every single day in the mirror. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about, because there are moments in your past you can't forget. You quit on a class. You quit on a relationship. You quit on a dream. And every time you think about it, it eats you alive. Why? Because quitting is permanent. I remember being homeless, sleeping in abandoned buildings, and I'm thinking to myself, E.T., this pain is unbearable. This pain is crushing you. But then I had to remind myself, this pain is temporary. If I keep grinding, if I keep waking up, if I keep pushing, the pain will pass. And let me tell you something, it did. I didn't stay in that abandoned building forever. I didn't stay broke forever. I didn't stay at the bottom forever. I kept going until the pain turned into purpose. See, the enemy of your destiny is not pain. It's quitting. That's the real killer, because pain builds you. Pain strengthens you. Pain shapes your character. Pain teaches you things comfort never could. When you're in pain, you learn discipline. You learn resilience. You learn what you're made of. That's why I tell you, don't run from it. Don't despise it. Don't let it defeat you, because pain is temporary. But when you quit, you lock yourself out of everything you were supposed to have. And I know some of you right now are standing on the edge. You're tired. You're frustrated. You've been working, you've been grinding, and it feels like nothing's changing. And that voice in your head is saying, just stop, just let it go, just quit. That voice is lying to you. That voice wants you to forfeit your future for the sake of temporary comfort. And if you listen to it, you're going to wake up one day wishing you had fought a little longer, pushed a little harder, endured just a little more. Winners feel pain too. Don't get it twisted. The difference is winners keep going anyway. Champions cry, champions hurt, champions feel the weight, but they don't quit, because they know the pain will eventually give birth to the prize. You got to make up in your mind right now, I'd rather go through the pain of discipline than the pain of regret, because one lasts a moment, the other lasts a lifetime. I dare you tonight to look at your pain differently. Stop seeing it as punishment. Start seeing it as preparation. You're not being broken, you're being built. You're not being buried, you're being planted. And if you can endure this season, if you can resist the urge to quit, you will see the fruit. You will see the reward. But you got to outlast the pain. So the question is not, can you avoid the pain? The question is, can you survive it without quitting? Because if you can, there's nothing in this life that can stop you. Listen to me, pain is temporary. Quitting is forever. Don't quit. Everybody's got excuses. Everybody's got a story about why they can't. I hear it all the time. E.T., you don't understand. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. I wasn't born with the opportunities other people had. And listen, I'm not dismissing your pain. I'm not saying your struggle isn't real. I know it's real. But hear me closely. Your excuses can't be bigger than your why. Your why has to outweigh everything that stands in front of you. The reason most people stop isn't because they're not capable. It's because they let their excuses have more power than their purpose. They give more attention to the obstacle than to the goal. And as soon as life throws a punch, they fold. Why? Because their why wasn't strong enough. I'll never forget when I was homeless, when I was sleeping on those cold floors, I had every excuse in the world to quit. Nobody would have blamed me if I gave up. Nobody would have pointed a finger at me if I said, this is too much. But my why was bigger. My why wasn't about me. My why was about the kids I wanted to one day inspire, the family I wanted to take care of, the life I dreamed of living. That why woke me up in the morning when I was tired. That why made me study when I didn't feel like it. That why kept me grinding when everything around me told me to stop. Some of you right now, the reason you're not where you're supposed to be is because your excuses sound better to you than your dreams. You spend more time rehearsing the reasons you can't do it than the reasons you must. And let me tell you something, as long as you feed your excuses will keep feeding off your destiny. But when your why is powerful, when it's emotional, when it's rooted deep inside you, quitting stops being an option. You stop asking, can I? And you start saying, I must, because a strong why doesn't give you permission to stop. It demands that you keep going. You got to make this thing personal. It can't be about proving something to your neighbor. It can't be about keeping up with somebody on social media. That won't sustain you. Because when the lights go off, when nobody's cheering, when it's just you and the grind, your why is the only thing that will keep you alive in the fight. So I'm asking you tonight, what's your why? Who are you doing this for? What's that thing that makes you cry when you think about it? What's that thing that if you don't accomplish it, you won't be able to sleep at night? That's the fuel. That's what makes the pain bearable. That's what makes the struggle worth it. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know it feels like you're pushing against a wall that won't move. But if your why is strong enough, you'll find a way. You'll figure it out. You'll go around it. You'll climb over it. You'll dig under it. But you won't stop until you get to the other side. Don't let excuses rob you of your future. Don't let comfort keep you in chains. Your why must be bigger than your fear, bigger than your failure, bigger than your pain. When you wake up tomorrow, don't wake up thinking about the problem. Wake up thinking about your why. Let it drive you. Let it push you. Let it pull you through the days when quitting looks easier. Because at the end of the day, your excuses don't pay the bills. Your excuses don't change your life. Your excuses don't create legacy. Only your why does. Your why must be bigger than your excuse. You know what breaks my heart? Watching people give up too soon. They had the gift. They had the ability. They had everything it took to win, but they quit before the finish line. Listen to me. You don't lose because you're not talented. You don't lose because you're not smart enough. Most people lose because they stop too early. They misjudge the process. They think just because it's hard, just because it didn't work the first time, that it must not be meant for them. That's a lie. It's not over just because it's difficult. It's not over just because you failed once. As long as there's still breath in your body, as long as the clock hasn't hit zero, you still got a chance to win. I need you to stop counting yourself out before the race is finished. Some of you, you haven't even seen what you're capable of because you left the fight in the middle. You tapped out when life was testing you. But let me tell you something. Tests don't come to break you. They come to reveal you. And if you quit in the middle of the test, you'll never discover the strength that's inside you. Think about it. Every great champion you've ever admired, every story that inspires you, it wasn't smooth. It wasn't easy. They weren't handed victory. They had moments where it looked like they were done. They had moments where people counted them out. But the difference between them and everybody else is simple. They refused to stop. They stayed in the ring when everybody else walked out. And let me keep it real. You're going to fail. Yeah, I said it. You're going to fall on your face sometimes. You're going to have setbacks. But failure is not final unless you quit. Failure is a lesson. Failure is feedback. Failure is just information to help you adjust and come back stronger. The only thing that makes failure permanent is walking away from the fight. I remember people used to laugh at me, telling me I wasn't going to make it. They looked at my situation, homeless, no degree, no money, and they counted me out. And you know what? They had every reason to. On paper, I was finished, but I didn't count myself out. I said to myself, as long as I'm breathing, I'm still in the game. And I kept fighting. I kept pushing. I kept believing. And eventually, the same people who laughed at me had to watch me walk into my purpose. Some of you right now, you're in the middle of the fight. You're bleeding. You're exhausted. You feel like you've already lost. But hear me. You haven't lost until you quit. You still got time on the clock. Don't you dare walk off the field before the whistle blows. Don't you dare leave the track before the race is over. Because the truth is, you might be closer to your breakthrough than you think. I need you to get this in your spirit. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. Nobody remembers who led in the first lap. Nobody celebrates who was ahead at halftime. The celebration always goes to the one who endured until the end. So stop disqualifying yourself. Stop thinking it's over because it didn't happen on your timeline. Stop believing the lie that you've missed your moment. As long as you're still alive, as long as you've still got breath, as long as you've still got fight in you, it's not over. Don't count yourself out. Don't let your current struggle convince you your story is finished, because your next chapter could be the one that changes everything. It's not over until you win. People ask me all the time, E.T., what's the secret? What separates the winners from everybody else? And I tell them straight up, it's not talent, it's not IQ, it's not even luck. The secret is simple. Winners keep showing up. That's it. They show up when it's ugly. They show up when it's inconvenient. They show up when they don't feel like it. They just keep showing up until the job gets done. You see, most people only show up when it's easy, when it's comfortable, when everything lines up perfectly. But life don't work like that. Life is messy. Life is unpredictable. And if you only show up when it feels good, you'll never see the finish line. Winners don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. They create their own momentum by refusing to leave the arena. Think about it. The reason champions stand on the podium is not because they never got tired. They got tired just like you. They had days where they wanted to sleep in, days where their body said no, days where their mind said quit. But they showed up anyway. They laced up their shoes. They went to practice. They stayed in the grind. And over time, showing up became their advantage. Some of you right now, you keep starting, but you don't finish. You're good for a week, maybe two, but as soon as it gets tough, you disappear. And then you wonder why you don't see results. It's not because you're not gifted. It's because you're inconsistent. You're planting seeds, but you're not watering them long enough to see them grow. I need you to catch this. Success doesn't always go to the fastest or the strongest. It goes to the one who refuses to leave until the job is done. The one who says, I might not be the most talented, I might not be the smartest, but you will not outlast me. You will not outwork me. You will not see me walk away until I get what I came for. That mindset is what separates the winners from the rest. When I was grinding for my degree, I wasn't the brightest student in the room. I struggled with the work. I had to study longer, harder, later than everybody else. But you know what I did? I kept showing up class after class, semester after semester. I stayed in the fight until they handed me that degree. It wasn't because I was special. It was because I refused to quit. And that's the challenge I'm giving you. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the perfect day. Stop waiting until you're not tired anymore. That day may never come. Winners don't wait for motivation. They operate on commitment. They show up whether the feelings are there or not. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're building muscle. Not just physical muscle, but mental muscle, spiritual muscle, the kind of strength that will carry you through when the storm comes. Because let me tell you, storms are coming. Challenges are guaranteed. But if you make showing up a habit, no storm can wipe you out. So, hear me closely. This is not about being the best. This is not about comparing yourself to anybody else. This is about making a promise to yourself that you will not stop until the work is finished. That no matter how many times it gets hard, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will get back up and show up again. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most committed. It belongs to the ones who refuse to leave the field, who refuse to leave the ring, who refuse to leave the grind until victory is theirs. Winners keep showing up. Don't stop until you win.